Hi there, I'm Dorian Skioka, the Genki Stamper, and welcome to another Itty Bitty Bite of Beautiful. Today we're going to be working on some terrific techniques for getting the most out of your stamps. So let's start with talking about our stamps and what we can do with them. Now, you're probably very familiar with, just stamping on ink, but if you have Stampin' Up! Stamp and Write markers, then you can also draw right on your markers or on your stamps. And I'm going to show you some techniques for doing that today. So one of the first things we're going to do is just coloring a stamp with markers. So I have this stamp here, just an old stamp that I happen to have. It's a Stampin' Up! Stamp. I'm going to take some Tempting Turquoise. Oh, popped it right out of there. I've never done that before. And then I'm going to just stamp some ink on there, put some ink on. Get nice and inky. And then, because I want some different colors on this stamp, I'm also going to take an Old Olive marker. And the Stampin' Write markers have two sides. One is for just writing. And this one has kind of a brush tip, as you can see. So I'm going to take the brush tip and everything that I want to be green, I'm going to just quickly color it green. I don't want to wait too long because I don't want that ink to get dry, but it doesn't take long to put some ink on there. Alright, so I got pretty much everything I think that I need to be green, and if it's not perfect, that's okay. That's why I stamped the whole stamp first. I'm going to take another color. I'm going to take a darker color this time. This is a Pacific Point marker, and I'm just going to color some of the edges and around some of the flowers a little bit. Alright, now there's my stamp. I've inked it all up using my Stampin' Write markers and my ink, but before I stamp, I want to make sure that that ink is good and wet, so I'm going to breathe on it. You're going to hear me hold it up to my mouth. I'm going to give it a good couple of breaths. Alright, and then I can stamp. Give it some firm, even pressure, and then pull it up, and then there you go. Pretty, huh? So I've got different colors on there, and it looks really, really pretty. So that's one really easy technique. Now something else you can do with the markers that's kind of fun is you can pounce on them, pounce on the stamps. So I'm going to take some Daffodil Delight here. I'm going to take this medallion looking stamp, and I'm going to start by stamping in a lighter color first. It's easier to go from light to dark rather than from dark to light. And then I'm going to take another Stampin' Write marker. This one's Pumpkin Pie, and I'm going to just color in the middle, and then here's where I'm going to do some pouncing. I'm going to take another Stampin' Write marker. This is a Real Red, and I'm just going to take that, and I'm just going to kind of bounce on it, whatever you want to say, just kind of around. So I'm not really coloring in, I'm just dabbing on there. Okay, now again I'm gonna breathe. Let me close that up. I'm gonna breathe on it, give it a couple of good breaths to make sure that that Daffodil Delight is still nice and moist too. And then stamp it down. And then there you go. Get really neat kind of like a stained glass effect with that. It's really pretty. Okay, so that's a couple of different things you can do. One more I'm going to show you is how to do kissing. You're going to kiss your stamps. Mwah, just like that. So I'm going to take a stamp. Now, I like to start with a stamp that has kind of a flat side to it. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to ink that up. And in fact, since it's flat, I can actually rub it on it. I'm going to get good and inky. And then I'm going to take a stamp that has an interesting texture. So this one I thought has a really neat texture. It's got these dots on it. And I'm going to kiss it together, like so. Mwah! And see what it does? It makes it completely different. Gives it dots. So then when I stamp on it, on my paper, I have a different texture. But I also have my image here, and look what happens there. Ta-da! Pretty cool, huh? All right, one last thing that I'm going to show you. I thought I was going to do, I thought that was the last. I'm going to do one more. One very last thing I'm going to show you. It's really super easy. Is how to get a shadow effect. So I'm going to take my butterfly here and get it good and inky. Now that I got it good and inky, I'm actually going to stamp off a little bit, okay? So I'm going to use this. I want my image over here, and I'm just going to stamp off a few times to get some of that ink off. I think that's pretty good. It doesn't look like I have too much ink here now. So I'm going to stamp right there, okay? And now that is pretty light. So I'm going to take my stamp, same stamp, ink it up again. Get it nice and inked up. There we go. And then I'm going to put it just about like 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters off so that it looks like I have a shadow. And then there you go. You got a shadow effect. Pretty nifty, huh? So those are just a few ways that you can use some terrific techniques with your stamping and make some things really, really beautiful. So I hope that if you enjoyed what you saw today, that you will leave a comment below, or even better, please join me at www.yankystamper.com/join, and you can sign up for my newsletter, but you will also get access to a free class just for signing up and being part of my Yankee Stamper community. Thanks so much, and I'll send you more tips and tricks later. Bye-bye.